Joe, I'm a big fan of this show. Really big fan.
Me too.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, what's the decision behind having New Orleans be the perfect place for such a story of Cloak and Dagger?
You know what? When Jeff Loeb and I started talking about the show, he was like, "How would you feel about going someplace else?" And we both decided New York is safe. New York has every superhero, imaginable. Spider-Man's there, Daredevil's there. So we started talking about New Orleans at first because of the tax credit, but the more I kind of went down there and looked around, it felt like the right place for Tandy and Tyrone. They're both kind of gothic characters. They both dwell in the darkness and the light. And if you've ever been to New Orleans, there's so much hope and so much darkness and so much cool European spiritual vibe that it just felt the right place for them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So the mysticism and the supernatural, superstition, and also the voodoo part of New Orleans. Did you intentionally put that in the story?
Yeah, I mean, I think we wanted a spiritual baseline. I had just come off a show called Underground, which we kind of dealt with the Afro-Caribbean religions coming to Louisiana, and it felt right that you've seen so many. Daredevil does Catholicism very well. You've seen it. We wanted to do Voodoo right, and there's something interesting about the connection to the natural world that felt right for superheroes. Understanding your place in the universe is part of Voodoo and it's part of Marvel, so they really tied together nicely.
So before I let you go, I want to ask for season 2 for my fans, what can they expect or anticipate, especially in terms of whether or not Tandy and Tyrone will be a couple?
We are getting much closer to answering that question. But we want to tell the story. My favorite love stories are about falling in love with your best friend. So I think we're gonna play with their emotions a little. And then I'm very excited for them to see the end of the finale.
Should I put my ponytail forward or flip it back? I'm gonna flip it back.
Oh, there you go. You look fantastic. I'm a big fan of the show. You have no idea.
Oh, yay!
Oh, my God. Now, I want to ask about Bridget. In season 1, she seems like she's trying to find her way, and there's a lot of tragedy that also happens to her. How was that experience for you as an actress, tapping into those emotions?
I mean, it was exhausting. I think we had to find a lot of ways to kind of decompress and do kind of fun, silly things on the weekends and in the evening. I definitely rewatched Curb Your Enthusiasm many times because, you're dealing with a lot of really awful things that are happening today. Police brutality, sexual assault, drug addiction, which are really important issues to talk about. And, we're really grateful to be able to bring that to the screen and help educate people, and hopefully people who don't feel heard or don't feel seen, give them a voice and give them a platform. But then definitely at the end of the day, you need to take a step back and find something that brings you joy and light, because it can get really heavy.
Is it fair to say that Bridget is like the big sister to Tandy and Tyrone?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think she's, a flawed mother in the way of they were her kids. But she definitely has the best intentions for them and just wants to do right. She isn't necessarily tidy in the way she does it. She's a little bit messy, and, she definitely has blurred the lines in terms of trying to get justice for Tyrone by snorting coke with one particular detective, but she just sees the end game and wants to get there. And then now with Mayhem, she's not just stepping outside the edges. She's like, there are no edges. Yeah.
And how fun was that playing the Voodoo?
That was so fun. I know, everyone's like, what's more fun, Bridget or Mayhem? I'm like, Mayhem, obviously, yeah.
All right, so before I let you go, I want to ask, which Marvel shows like Runaways and Cloak and Dagger, what is it about runaway teens that resonate with audiences? Is it the sense of independence or the spirit of rebellion?
Oh, I would go with spirit of rebellion. I bet it's probably a combo. I think it's probably different for everyone else, but it's probably also what you kind of see in a character that you admire that maybe you wish you were more of or had more of. So for me, I don't think that, I grew up a ballerina, so I was definitely not a rebel. So when I see a character who's really rebelling, I admire that, because I wasn't like that as a teenager. So for me, I would definitely be more attracted to watching somebody be a rebel.
You were a good teenager, got it.
A little bit.
Well, thank you so much, Emma.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
Thank you.